Hey, I am here with Jaylah Rai, and we are going to take this opportunity to hear a little bit more about you. So, Jaylah, I always like to ask people starting out, like, how did you get into wrestling?
I got into wrestling because I'd always known a little bit about wrestling. I always watched pro wrestling when I was a kid, and I always found it very fun. I didn't realize it was something that people enjoyed watching in different forms with different competitors, and that people did it for a living outside of, big WWE wrestling. And I thought, wow, that looks so fun. I found out about it through Ursa. I found her on just a podcast I was listening to one day. I'm like, oh, this sounds so much fun. And she sounded like it was like the best thing she had ever done in her life. And she's so happy she's doing it. And I'm like, I want to do that. And I think literally I heard the podcast, I found her Twitter, found your site, and then a week later I was wrestling Ursa.
So Ursa, your first match.
She was my first match, first person I ever delved into her content to see what the wrestling world was like, and it was so surreal to be like, oh, you're like a real person that's sitting on my face. I went from fan to victim in a week.
So we just finished up a big shoot today, and you got a chance to actually, be the aggressor this time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you took to that brilliantly. So what would you say is like your favorite thing? What would you rather do?
I love both ends of it. I think I like them for different reasons. I love sort of being on top more because it is really just like a rush of adrenaline, that sort of power rush that just feels so good, especially sitting on top of somebody. Just feels so good. It's wonderful. And also, getting to put people in different positions, and it just feels like you naturally sit into it and you're like, oh, this feels like where I should be, sitting on someone's face. But then on the other side of it too, I really love it because I love pushing my own limits and seeing, maybe I'm not the best at getting out of a hold, but I'll be damn sure I'm the best at holding it from the bottom.
So yeah, today you got to have some of both of those experiences.
Oh yes, it was
right.
It was a great day.
What would be like the next thing you want to try if you had like an ideal next opponent or next style or just something to try?
I've worked with a few of the other competitors so far, but I have yet to even meet Aurelia in passing. Okay. So I would love to have a match with her one day.
Okay.
I don't know how that would fare for me, but at the very least I can say I've met her. I've met most of the people that, as a fan, I've watched and enjoyed.
I'm going to say that would be a lot of fun. One thing I want to see is I'd like to see you and Ursa on the same side. Oh. I think you two would make a pretty awesome dynamic duo.
I love that.
Of squashing and crushing and devastation.
Oh, that is my dream. I love that.
I think there will be much more.
Yes.
Much more that we can do.
There's so many opportunities. It's just starting.
So welcome to it.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaylah Rai.